If you're looking for the best portable monitor for your Mac Mini, this video is for you. We've ranked the top 5 portable monitors for travel, remote work, productivity, and everyday use, starting with number 5 and working our way to our top overall pick. Let's get started. Starting off at number 5, we have the Asus ZenScreen OLED MQ16AH. This is the monitor I'd recommend to someone who really cares about display quality and wants something that's ridiculously easy to travel with. The first thing you notice is the OLED screen. It's a 15.6-inch display with a 1920 by 1080 resolution, and honestly, everything just looks good on it. Emails look sharp, presentations look great, YouTube videos look fantastic, and if you're editing photos while traveling, the colors are excellent. Asus rates it at 100% DCI P3 color coverage, and it definitely feels like a creator-friendly display. What makes it travel-friendly is the size and weight. It weighs around 1.4 pounds and is thin enough that it basically disappears into a backpack. If you're already carrying an M1 Mac Mini, M2 Mac Mini, M4 Mac Mini, or one of the Pro versions, adding this monitor doesn't suddenly make your bag feel heavy. The downside is productivity. Once you start opening spreadsheets, browser tabs, Slack, Teams, and multiple documents, the full HD resolution starts feeling a little cramped. It's perfectly usable, but it's not the monitor I choose if multitasking is your top priority. The nice thing is that it's not limited to Mac. It works great with Windows laptops, Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, ROG Ally, and pretty much anything with USB-C or HDMI output. At around $350 to $400, this feels like a display-first portable monitor. Beautiful screen, excellent portability, but not the strongest productivity machine in this ranking.
At number 4, we have the ViewSonic VX1665 4K OLED. This monitor feels like it was built for people who constantly have too many things open at once. The jump to 4K OLED panel makes a huge difference here. We're talking about a 15.6-inch display running at 3840 by 2160. And if you've ever tried working on spreadsheets, research documents, browser tabs, and video calls simultaneously, you already know why that's useful. With an M2 Pro Mac Mini or M4 Pro Mac Mini especially, the display looks fantastic. macOS scaling works well. Text is incredibly sharp, and you can fit a surprising amount of content on screen. It's still very portable. The monitor weighs about 1.5 pounds, so it's not much heavier than some smaller alternatives. It slips into a backpack easily and works well in hotel rooms where desk space is limited. One thing I like about this monitor is that it pulls double duty. During the day, it's a productivity monitor. At night, it's a really nice entertainment screen. OLED makes movies look great, and if you travel with a Steam Deck, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series S, or gaming laptop, the image quality is excellent. The reason it doesn't rank higher is simple. It's expensive. Most of the time, you'll find it somewhere between $500 and $600, and at that price, some buyers may start looking at larger options. Still, if your main goal is maximum sharpness and a highly portable package, it's a very strong choice.
At number 3, we have the UPerfect 4K portable monitor. This is the monitor I usually think about when someone says I want a serious portable workstation, but I don't want to spend a fortune. For the money, it's honestly hard to beat. Most versions come with a 15.6-inch 4K display, and that's where the value starts. You're getting the same 3840 by 2160 resolution that makes multitasking so much easier, but usually at a significantly lower price than some of the bigger-name competitors. For Mac Mini users, that's a huge win. Whether you're running an older M1 Mac Mini or one of the newer M4 systems, the extra workspace is immediately useful. More browser tabs, more spreadsheets, more documents, less constant window switching. The portability is still good. Most versions weigh somewhere around 1.6 to 1.8 pounds. That's slightly heavier than the Asus and Innocent, but not enough to make a real difference in day-to-day travel. What I like most is the flexibility. Depending on the model, you get multiple USB-C ports, mini HDMI, built-in speakers, HDR support, and sometimes even VESA mounting. It works with Macs, Windows laptops, gaming handhelds, tablets, Samsung DeX devices, and consoles. If you're the type of traveler who carries multiple devices, that's a real advantage. Pricing usually falls between $250 and $450, depending on the configuration. For people focused on productivity, this might actually be the sweet spot in the entire ranking. At number 2, we have the innocent 15A1F OLED. And honestly, if someone asked me for the safest recommendation on this list, this would probably be it. The reason is simple. It does almost everything well. The monitor uses a 15.6-inch OLED panel, weighs around 1.4 pounds, and remains one of the easiest portable monitors to carry around. It slips into a backpack effortlessly and feels like it was designed specifically for frequent travelers. The OLED display is excellent. Colors pop, contrast is fantastic, and it simply makes long workdays feel more enjoyable. If you're spending 8 hours looking at spreadsheets, emails, presentations, and video calls, screen quality matters. I also like how straightforward the entire experience is. Setup is quick, the stand works well, the monitor feels reliable. Nothing about it becomes annoying after weeks or months of use. Compatibility is excellent too. M1, M2, M2 Pro, M4, and M4 Pro Mac Minis all work perfectly. Windows laptops work perfectly. It also works great with Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, PlayStation Portal, and similar devices. Pricing usually lands between $250 and $350, which is one of the biggest reasons it ranks so highly. You're getting OLED quality without paying premium OLED prices. The only thing keeping it from first place is screen size. Taking the number 1 spot is the Espresso Display 17 Pro. This is the monitor that feels the least like a portable monitor and the most like an actual desktop monitor that happens to travel with you. The biggest difference is the size. Most portable monitors stop at 15.6 inches. The Espresso gives you a larger 17-inch display with a 2560 by 1600 resolution and a 16:10 aspect ratio. And honestly, that extra space matters more than most people expect. When you're sitting in a hotel room trying to work all day, a bigger screen simply feels better. You can keep more applications visible. You can see more spreadsheet rows. You can multitask more comfortably. It feels closer to the experience you'd get from a traditional office monitor. The build quality is also on another level. The aluminum construction feels premium, sturdy, and ready for years of travel. If you're constantly moving between airports, co-working spaces, and client meetings, that's something you'll appreciate. Despite the larger display, portability remains surprisingly reasonable. It weighs around 2 pounds and stays incredibly thin. Yes, it's bigger than the others, but not so much bigger that it becomes difficult to carry. It pairs beautifully with every recent Mac Mini, including M1, M2, M2 Pro, M4, and M4 Pro models. Windows compatibility is excellent as well. And if you're someone who likes gaming after work, this is probably the most enjoyable monitor on the list. The larger display makes Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, Xbox Series S, and gaming laptops feel noticeably better than they do on smaller portable monitors. The biggest drawback is price. Depending on the configuration, you're usually looking at around $700 to $900, but if you're trying to build the closest thing possible to a full desktop workstation while traveling with the Mac Mini, this is the monitor I'd pick. It's the one that makes the fewest compromises, and that's why it takes the number 1 spot.